At this part, what we want to cover is try to learn how we would be able to monitor some parameters in Revit. So I would say most of the time we that would be might be like the case that we do have like some sort of walls or beams, and the length or the area or like whatever sort of parameter might get like critical, and down the way, or I would say down the way to through the project, we want to make sure if like everything is working out, and we want to like have this peace of mind that if like some parameters is going over than what it's supposed to be, we're getting signaled. So that's the whole point of like doing this tutorial right now. For that purpose, I'm just going to like select on walls and put on some walls here. For example, one wall that I want to put on here, I'm going to put it on level 2. So let me do that again. Base constraint level 1, level 2, all fine, perfect. So for example, we're having one wall with 15 meters. We're having another wall with 10 meters. Right, we are having another wall with 5 meters. That's pretty much it. So that would be a good case right now that we've got here. So the point is, suppose that in a project we do have this constraint that if the length of the wall is going, for example, over, what is the length that we've got here is 5 meter, right? So if like the length of the wall goes like over 5 meter, and we need to know, so we might like need to add on some sort of modification or some add details to it. So it's important for us to get signaled if somehow in a project that you're working on, doesn't matter which phase we are, but if the wall goes up like over that length, we're getting signal. And the other thing is, for example, if the wall is going way more than a limit, then that wall, for example, should turn into red. I mean, we're using a color scanned way to signal our parameters once, and we're dynamically monitoring them. So that's the point. Here I've got like 5, 10, and 15, right? Those are the lengths of like my walls here. So if like a wall is less than, let's put in 6. So if a wall is less than 6 meters, it's supposed to be green. So I want to have this peace of mind that whenever I see a green wall, so that means that the wall is not exceeding over the 6 meters length. So everything is fine with it. But if like the wall is getting exceeded over 6 meters, so, and it is yet less than, for example, 11 meters, that's supposed to be, that's supposed to turn into yellow, which means that I have to double check on it. We have to review on it and make sure if like we need to add any sort of modification to it. However, if the wall goes more over than the 11 meters length, then that wall's supposed to get red. So that way I can understand that, okay, for example, I have to cut that wall into two single different walls, and for example put on a framing section in between, so then like we're not facing with any sort of like construction issue. That's just like an example and a scenario that I'm defining here. So then like the whole color scheming thing will make sense, but the whole point is how we would be able to put on some constraint that we can dynamically monitor whatever sort of components that we have over whichever desired parameters that we wish. For that purpose, I'm going to go on VG, right? So you press on VG on your keyboard and you get on visibility and graphics. There you can see filters. So you go there on filters, then I would initially start with edit over new. So you click there, right? And then what you need to do is to click on new. So you click on new. For example, I want to go with wall 1. Click on OK, make sure to select the walls, right? Because this is the components that, or this is the category that we wish to be considered for that filter. Then here, what I need to do is to have that one. So for example, wall, definitely it's supposed to be length. As you can see, different sort of parameters you can work with it. I'm gonna work with length. And then, for example, the first constraint that it's supposed to be if it is less than 6 right? If it's less than 6, then it's supposed to turn in green. So that's the whole constraint that I need here, if it is less than 6. So gonna click on OK, and then from here, gonna add that on. So click on wall 1, click on OK, and as you can see, this will get added here. Then on the pattern one, I click there, put it on solid fill, and then I'm gonna put it on green, right? Click on OK, and click on apply. So as you can see, that will immediately turn into green. Now let me like add on more lines of like this legend that we've had. So gonna go again with edit new, gonna go again with add. So gonna put it here as wall 2, click on OK. This time I wanna make sure it's still on walls. So the other time was it's less than 6. This time I'm gonna put it at again the length, right? However, this time it's not supposed to be less than something. It's supposed to be greater than or equal to, right? Since the at wall 1 we put on is less than, so obviously if it is 6 meters, I want to still get considered in that constraint on wall 2 that I'm putting. So I'm gonna is greater than 6. Then since I have to add another constraint, I'm gonna go with add set. I put on add set and I make sure it is still and. Make sure that it is and. Then add rule, wall, length again, since we're working again with the length. And then is less than this time. Less than 11, right? Exactly according to the scenario that we just defined. Click on OK. And here we need to add it. So you add on wall 2, you go on the pattern, make sure it is on solid fill, and the color is supposed to be, for example, this time yellow. So gonna put it there, click on OK, click on apply. Right, as you can see, that wall just got like in yellow, so that's a good sign, it's working so far. Then the third one and the last one, again, I'm supposed to repeat the whole scenario, right? Wall 3, click on OK, scroll down till I can find walls. Here, walls length, put on length. Again, this time it's supposed to be it's greater than or equal to 11. Add instead of add rule, add set. Put on and add rule, walls, length, less than. Or we can put on we can even like put it on whatever it is, meaning that walls length is greater than 11 meters, and we can just like leave it as what it is, because we want to like put it as an open thing, right? We don't want to like close that up. So whatever sort of walls that we like put on in a project that is way more than 11 meters, it's supposed to be considered in that case. So I'm just going to remove that part because it doesn't make sense. So whatever wall which is greater than 11 meters, I want to turn into red. So gonna click on OK and gonna add this here. Click on wall 3 and make sure to go on the pattern, solid fill, and put on a red color. Click on OK, OK, and another OK, right? So as you can see perfectly, that is working. For example, something happens and the length of this wall got changed to 7 meters. As you can see, dynamically, Revit will recognize the changes that is getting happen, and the signal is getting up there. So I will realize that, okay, like something is going with that wall, I should come and check that off. If something happens and the length of the wall getting to 20 meters, see the wall automatically will turn into red. So I will immediately realize that, okay, like something is going wrong. I should come there and like divide that wall into 2. For example, I go there, I use like the split with gap thing that I have here, and I split that wall into 2. So as you can see, since the length of those walls now it's getting divided into 2, so we're not having a length of over than 11 meters. For that purpose, the colors are getting into yellow. So that's a very good, I would say, practice and option that we have on Revit. And whenever like it's also applicable on whatever sort of component that you need. So it's definitely super useful on beams. So I can put on, let's say, the same sort of constraint on the length or on whatever sort of parameters on beams and columns, reinforcements, or connections, whatever. So then something that happens and I want to flag that, I want to get signal over something, that could be happening that way. So I hope you guys find this video useful, and please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, as I'm always constantly updating the contents to make sure that you guys are getting to learn new stuff and tricks. Thank you.